Hola, ¿qué tal? Soy Dani Mantilla y estamos aquí en el Festival de San Sebastián, en este set audiovisual interior de Kinótico que patrocina Repsol y que estamos en el Hotel María Cristina. Hoy nos acompaña Emilie Thalund, directora de Weightless, que es una película que se ve en nuevos directores. Welcome, Emilie.
Thank you so much.
This is your first film.
Yes.
How does it feel to deliver, in a way, a story that you have been working on for so long?
It feels a lot of feelings. Yeah. I'm very excited and I'm very proud and happy for the whole team and the film to be here now, and it's also, of course, scary. And I'm very curious and nervous to hear how the film will be. How the audience will react to the film.
For those who haven't seen Weightless, what would you like them to know about the film before sitting in a theater?
Before sitting there, what would I like them to know?
Like a sneak peek, of the film.
Yeah, it's a film for. I would say it's a film for everyone, especially the ones who are interested in the eternal life of teenage girls and are interested in girlhood and how the vulnerability you go through the world with when you are a teenage girl, and also the power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. If you get into the letterbox profile of the film, there are several comments that talk about the age of consent. In Spain, it is 16 years old. In Denmark, is 15. Was that something that you wanted to discuss? Because yes, there's like grooming in the film. The leading character is he 15 years old as well?
Not the actor, but the character.
The character.
Yeah.
And she goes to a health camp and has like a. Well, you tell us. I don't want to spoil the film, but yes, that age of consent, that theme.
The age of consent. Yeah, I think that's a very. It's a very particular thing, or it's a arbitrary line in a way you put down and say, like, now you're 15, now something is okay. And I was interested in, when does the young girl lose the protection in a way? When do we stop protecting the young girl? And also in who has the advantage of this age, if you can say that. And I wanted to work with I wanted to show it through the POV of the young girl, like her meeting with her own desire and the sexuality, but also the meeting with the male gaze, and especially the male gaze from an older man, and how that can feel both thrilling and exciting, but also scary.
We go with this character, and I love how the film explores desire of a non-normative girl according to what the cinema and television shows us, because it's real. It's a real person with a real body.
Yeah.
But was that something that you wanted to tackle with this first film that is usually so important for filmmakers? It's like a statement of who you are or who you want to be.
Yeah, I think so. I personally love coming of age stories, and I think I always knew that I kind of wanted to dive into that age. I think even though I'm much older now, I'm still very connected to the 15-year-old girl in me, and those years are so transformative, and they can really move into you and define the person, not define the person you are, but they can really, And for me, I also had a larger body when I was a young girl, and I knew I wanted to show how it is to be a girl with a body like that, but also make her to more than her body, show her as a complex whole person, because you rarely see that. It's often like the friend or a comic thing, or I wanted to really work with this with care and respect.
The film that doesn't present a closure for that story of grooming in a way, or a closure with like a lace, because most of the times the closure is something that arrives much later, or when you get in peace with what happened.
Yeah.
Was that something that you have you were like certain about, leaving the film open in a way?
Yes.
For the watcher to close the gap.
Yeah, definitely. It was very important for me and the writer Marianne Lenz to take this story or the young girl as serious as possible and really show her the respect it is to tell the true story. And the true story is that you rarely have a happy ending or any ending. And especially with these years, you kind of need to have that perspective, which is time, to understand what happened to me and what happened that summer. I think that's the whole thing about Me Too. It's like everyone was like, but why didn't you say anything back then? It's because you might not understand in the situation. You kind of need to have that lived experience and hear from other people their experiences.
The film takes place in a health camp that doesn't exist in Spain. Is that a real thing in Denmark?
It's a fictional place, but it's inspired by different places that we have been researched both in Denmark but also other places. Yeah.
Okay, I was curious about that. How's finding your actress, because she's amazing. I think her name is Marie Helweg Augustin.
Yeah,
more
very
or less.
good. Yeah, very good.
She's great.
She's amazing. We're so lucky we found her because she's in every scene. It's her POV. It's her, well, at least the character's POV and the character's film. And we knew it would really depend on finding this girl. And luckily, we had a great caster who found her, and it was important to find someone who was a bit older and not 15 to actually understand the complexity of these topics and the sensitivity about the things, and also so we could have a language together about what happens, both regarding the body, but also the meeting with your own sexuality and the older man. And yeah, so we had a casting process, and of course it reflects a lot also which girls actually dare to have a dream about being an actress, because we had a lot of girls applying for the Sasha part, the friend, and there weren't that many girls who sent in their tape for the Leah part. And hopefully this film can also help spark the dream in other girls to be an actress.
Yes, that's interesting because when you have a non-normative body, again, with the industry, with the rules of the industry, it's more complicated for you to think that you can be in a movie, because you don't usually see that. So
No.
it's really cool to have it here. I thought it was interesting that this film is one of the few productions in new directors that it's not produced by co-production. It's a Danish film.
Mm-hmm.
Was it hard to find the money to tell this story?
It was. I mean, of course, it's so hard to make a film in so many different ways. But luckily, we have a scheme in Denmark for new directors, which of course is a very small. Very few allowed to get the money for that. But we found a commissioner who loved the project from very early on. So yeah. It was hard, but also the budget is very, very small. It's like €1 million, so not very, very small, but it's quite small compared to other things. So yeah.
It's funny because Denmark is not a big country, but its cinema travels quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel, I don't know if it's like because the government is involved. I know the Danish Institute makes a lot of work, for example, with the Oscars, because the films usually do a good they travel.
Yeah.
Would you see yourself working in Denmark, or you can speak English perfectly, or maybe abroad?
Both. I think I would love to. I've done a lot of commercial work abroad. That's how I kind of started into making film. And I think it's always such a joy to go to different places and meet different crews and work different places. I think also there's something very special working in your own language, and also not working with too big but the budget doesn't get too big, so too many people get involved in the decision making.
Yep.
I think it's crucial to be able, on a film like this, it's crucial you have the final cut. So yeah, I would of course
Because money comes with a price.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
The freedom is like,
yeah.
it's tough to balance.
And I would always pick art over money, if you can say that. Yeah. It hasn't been a good business to make this film.
It was interesting to see that you are not, you don't appear as a writer of the film. How was this collaboration with Marianne?
So the idea originally came from me, and she came on quite early on because I knew I've never written a movie before. I didn't go to film school. I wanted to have a partner to make this film happen. And she's just like very, very talented at, she really has this sensitivity to understand the complexness of the characters here and also the story. So she came on and we kind of plotted the whole story together, and then she would write it from there.
You say that you didn't go to a film school. How did you discover that you wanted to be a filmmaker?
I think I discovered it quite early on. My father was a big cinephile, and he like introduced me to the love of film and the film world. But I didn't dare to think I could be a director. I didn't really know that many that looked like me who were directors. It was mainly men, maybe because my father introduced me to the French New Wave. So that was like what I knew. So I did it a little bit on the side in high school and stuff, but I never dared to apply to the film school. So yeah.
There's a lot of debate here in Spain about who gets to make films, because for the last 15, 20 years, most of filmmakers came out of film schools, which cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then you see a class divide in the stories are told.
Yeah.
Does it happen as well in
Denmark? I think luckily there's a big focus on it in Denmark. The education is free in Denmark, so that's amazing.
In Spain as well,
yeah. Okay, but it's still very few that get into the film school, and I also think you kind of need to be exposed for the world of film and filmmaking and even just the arts. It's a privilege to be exposed for those things in your life, and I think not all kids necessarily have that access to families that knows about film or art and stuff like that. So I think it starts quite early on in your life. I don't think it's necessarily about like if you have the money to study it, but it's also about being introduced that this could be a way of life, because it's a very unsure job. So you also, yeah. But I think they're working on trying to look more at having a more diverse mix of people getting into the schools, but also when they pick the projects.
Do you have an idea for a second film?
I have a few different ones, but I also gave birth a week after the film was finished. So I've been with my small baby, my daughter, for the last few months. So now I need to thank you. So now I need to dive into the next projects. But I'm very I'm so ready to do another film. It's the most wonderful job in the world.
Has the film opened in Denmark?
No, it will in the beginning of the new year.
And what conversations would you like the film to spark?
So many conversations I would like the film to spark. Luckily, when the reaction from people who've seen it is that, especially women, they're just starting to share their own story, and they are like, this happened to me, or this happened to me. I can see myself in Leah, or I can see myself in Sasha, and I think that's really beautiful that it's a film that makes people want to share. And I also hope, of course, they discuss consent and power balances, and also just how we look at bodies, how we talk about bodies, and how we give respect for the young teenage girl, and also just kind of let her be as she is.
We haven't talked about that, but the connection and the experience of Leah and Sasha is really interesting, like two very different profiles. And I think the film invites the viewer to have empathy for what we are not living through.
Yeah.
We need empathy right now, I think.
We need a lot of empathy. Yes, I think so too.
We like to end our interviews asking our guests to, if they have any film you would like to recommend yourself if you were 18-year-old.
Yeah.
18-year-old.
It's a very difficult question. First of all, I wanted probably to say a lot of different female makers to actually let myself know that is possible. And I think some films that made me think, okay, I can maybe, not saying that I could do what they were doing, but I think both Fish Tank by Andrea Arnold, of course, a big inspiration, and it's one of my favorite films. And After Sun, I watched for a few years ago by Charlotte Wells. I think the way of storytelling they do it, it's something that feels very, I have a lot of respect for that, and I'm a very big fan of them. So
I think Weightless is a good film to watch also when you're a teenager.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I didn't want to pick that, but thank you.
Maybe younger than 18, so you can learn something from the film, but it's a good option as well. Thank you, Emilie. Please
Thank you so much.
enjoy
It's a
San
pleasure
Sebastián.
to be here. Thank you so much.
Seguimos aquí con más entrevistas en este espacio en el Hotel María Cristina, patrocinado por Repsol, donde hablamos de cine en el María Cristina. Hasta pronto.